जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम
हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे राम
हरे राम
हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे राम राम राम
हरे
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्ण
राम हरे हरे हरे
कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे
हरे
राम
हरे राम हरे
हरे
राम
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
हरे राम हरे हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
राम
कृष्ण हरे
हरे
राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण
हरे
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 राम
कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण
राम
हरे
हरे
राम हरे
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 कृष्ण
कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे हरे
हरे राम हरे हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण
हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे कृष्ण हरे
हरे राम
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
हरे राम हरे
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
हरे कृष्ण
हरे
हरे
हरे हरे
हरे हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
हरे राम
राम हरे 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 कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय Where is our kirtan party?
We are ready.
Please go ahead.
Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namine
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की
जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की
जय।
जय। कीर्तन पार्टी की
जय।
जय। Hare Krishna. Thank you all
Hare Krishna.
for joining this our weekly satsang discussion on Bhagavad Gita as it is chapter 1. So first of all, I would like to offer my obeisances to all the Vaishnava devotees who are just like the desires, who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion to the following conditions. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah.
Namo Namaha.
So we'll start. We are already past half an hour, so Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya.
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam.
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam.
Tato Jayamudirayet.
Tado Jayamudiraye.
Om Ajnana Timirandasya
Om Ajnanatimiraganasya.
Jnananjana Shalakaya
Jnananjana Shalakaya.
Chakshurunmilitam Yena
Chakshurunmilitam Yena.
Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha.
Tasmai Sri Guruve
Guruve
Namaha.
Namaha.
Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam.
Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Stapitam Yena Bhutale.
Swayam Rupa Kadahamaishyam
Swayam Rupam Tadamahyam.
Dadati Swapadantikam.
Dadati Swapadantikam.
He Krishna Karuna Sindhu
He
Krishna Karuna Sindhu.
Dinabandho Jagatpate
Dinabandhu Jagatpate.
Gopesha Gopika Kanta
Gopesa Gopika Kanta.
Radhakanta Namostute
Radha Kanta Namastute.
Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi
Tapta Kanchana Gauri.
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari
Radhe Vrindavaneshwari.
Vrishabhanusute Devi
Vrishabhanusute Devi.
Pranamami Haripriye
Pranamami Hari Priye.
Panchakalpatarubhyascha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha.
Sindhubhya evascha
Kripasindhavayevacha.
Anam Pavanebhyo
Atitanam Pavanebhyo.
वैश्वनेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य
प्रभु नित्यानंद
प्रभु नित्यानंद
श्री अद्वैत गदाधार
श्री अद्वैत गदाधर
वासदि गौर भक्त वृंद।
श्रीवासादि भक्त वृंद।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
राम राम हरे हरे।
नमो विष्णुपादाय
नमो विष्णुपादाय
प्रेष्ठाय भूतले
कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत
श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत
स्वामी निति नामिने
स्वामी निति नामिने
नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे
नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
निर्विशेष शून्यवादी
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय
देवकी नंदनाय च
देवकी नंदनाय च
गोपकुमाराय
नंदगोपकुमाराय
गोविंदाय नमो नमः।
गोविंदाय नमो नमः।
नमो पंकजनाभाय
नमो पंकजनाभाय
नमो पंकजमालिने
नमो पंकजमालिने
नमो पंकजनेत्राय
नमो पंकजनेत्राय
नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये
नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये
मुखं करोति वाचालं
मुखं करोति वाचालं
अंगुं लंघयते गिरिं
पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं
यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे
यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे
गुरुन् दीनतारणम्।
श्रीगुरुं
श्रीमद् भागवतम भगवद गीता की जय।
भगवद गीता की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। So we'll quickly recap for 5 minutes, 10 minutes what we heard last week, and at the end of this session, as we discussed last week, we will share some realizations, right? Whatever we have learned till now and how we have implemented practically. So we'll share some realizations for 5-10 minutes there at the end. So for now, anyone wants to recap? Arundhati Mataji, I didn't see her today.
Yeah, she hasn't come to. She hasn't. I think she's not well or something. She said
Okay,
that.
okay.
She said nothing.
So Parima Mataji, you want to recap quickly for a couple of seconds?
Yes, I remember that Gandiva bow of Arjuna,
Mm-hmm.
and it was given by Agni gave Gandiva bow to Arjuna,
Okay, good.
and Chitrartha gave the horses,
Mm-hmm.
the cooper. I remember that, and also that about Bhima and Hanuman, that episode you had narrated, that you should not be proud of your strength at any point of time. So, and Hanuman is basically on the flag of Arjuna's chariot in the war of Mahabharata. I remember that. And you had told the story about the king who was very fond of the sacrificial, performing sacrifices. And basically, Agni falls sick and goes to Pandav Prastha and eats basically the forest. And Krishna and Arjuna were there, and how he gets the Gandiva, that whole story you had narrated, that I remember. So
That is nice. So anyone else wants to share? Thank you, Mataji.
You were talking about that we have to remember all the 33 names what we are going to see about for Krishna, and then 20 names of Arjuna, what they signify, and how, like, this is like the last verse what we read, 14 chapter 1, 14th shloka. That was where Krishna was going to come in and would be described about. So he was like a superhero. He was like a hero. And so you described about the white horses. The 4 white horses are like the Vedas, the 4 Vedas, and also the white symbolizes the purity or mode of goodness. And also the body is like the chariot. For chariot, when you were explaining how Arjuna's chariot was very big and it had steps, and then it had a place to keep all the weapons what he needed, and how it was huge. It was not like just a small space for him to stand, and also how the chariot symbolizes the body. So the body and the Vedas should go together. Like everybody, how they have to live their life is to remember the Vedas. And that's what I remember so much.
Yeah, that's good. It covers most part of it. So what are the main take-home points from last week?
Prabhuji,
We should not feel pride of anything we do.
It's echoing. Something is echoing here. Yeah. Please go ahead. Yeah, we should not feel proud. Okay, that's good. Any other point?
How we have to completely depend on Krishna.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
surrender to Krishna. And any activity, we should offer it to Lord Krishna, whether it's if it's successful.
Yes, and it will be
And
definitely
Krishna,
be successful.
where there is Krishna, there is victory.
There
And
is
also explained about Madhava. The name Ma means mother of fortune, goddess
fortune
of
of goddess.
goddess of fortune.
concept.
Madhava, right? Actually, if you see, like extending to the same meaning, Madhava, Dhava means the husband, right? Husband of the goddess fortune. So in our system back in India, we call those ladies, those women, their husband has died, right? We call them as Vidava, Vigataha Dava, right? You heard about this word, Vidava. So that is Vidava. Vidava means one who does not have husband. Dava means husband. Vidava means Vigataha husband, Dava. The one who does not have husband is Vidava. So he is a widow. So the same meaning here, Madhava. Okay. Just to put. Okay. So anything else?
Yeah, Prabhuji, you mentioned like Hare Krishna.
Yes.
So Krishna names appeared 33 times, Arjuna name appears 20 times. You started with there, and Ratha, the vehicle, takes from one place to another place. Madhava, you already mentioned about that, the goddess of fortune. And the 4 horses, that is relates to 4 Vedas. And like Sariram is not like other than like kind of Ratha, Sariram iti Ratha. So and you talked about King Svetaki did meditation to Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva sent Durvasa Muni, and those you were mentioning about how that Agni Dev, by eating the ghee and total years that yagna, but what it was going with Yudhishthira Maharaj was doing that. So
yeah.
So for that, and those all you details mentioned about, and then there Arjuna got 4 horses which were there in the chariot. So no, four things there. One is the horses, chariot, and Gandiva, and Kuvera. So from Kuvera, yeah. And then Hanuman, he talked about Hanuman, how he sits on that flag there. So Hanuman advised Hanuman advised to, what is that, Viva. And this should not have proud that you talked about. And so Bhima wanted Hanuman to be sit on chariot. So that you talked about. Hanuman also rovers like the Bhima in the war. So that was the another significance. That's what how he was impacting in the war. And yeah, so pretty much these all things you covered, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So Hanuman also, actually, we discussed one point that Hanuman also has a very good relationship with Arjuna.
Mhm.
So we were about to discuss how that relation developed, but we were, in lack of time, so we couldn't discuss.
Yeah.
Right? Do anyone know how Arjuna, where Arjuna met Hanuman, and then how the relationships built?
Yeah, Prabhuji, that Arjuna was having too much of, proud that he is the Dhanurdhara, and he is the one which is the known in the topmost in the Dhanurvidya. So when he was passing by one river, one place, Hanuman was sitting, and
I think
so Hanuman was sitting. So, no, sorry. Yeah, that is for me. So he was so having proud, like there was a river came, river came. I don't remember the name of the river. So he's saying that give me the path. So give me the path. I think river is from that.
No, this is how it goes actually. When for this Rajasuya Yagna, right?
Yeah.
Arjuna goes to different places to collect wealth, because
Right.
that is his, we'll discuss that. Because of that, he gets this name also, Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means that one who collects this wealth, conqueror of wealth, right?
Yeah.
So in the next sloka, we'll get it, Dhananjaya. So Arjuna goes collecting all the wealth from different areas, right? So he comes to South India. So when he comes to South India, Rameshwaram, it is said that
Yeah.
Rameshwaram, where Lord Rama actually makes a bridge between
Yeah.
India and Sri Lanka, right?
Right.
So once he comes there, he'll be thinking, after seeing this, he'll be thinking about Lord Ram. How come Lord Ram, he's a Lord himself, and he is the Shrestha Dhanurdhar. That means he is the greatest archer.
Yeah.
Right? Lord Ram could have built this bridge very easily between this country to other country, right? Very easily. But instead, he took the help of monkeys. He took the help of all those trees. He had to use the trees and then stones, everything to build this huge bridge to cross over. So why did that Lord Ram did that? Because me being a Nara, me being a human being, right? I can easily build a big bridge like how we did. We discussed this past times also with Agnidev, right? Agnidev, when he took help of Arjuna, because to avoid this rain, while eating this forest, right? So Arjuna easily built that big shelter for Agnidev. That is how he got this chariot also, right? So Arjuna was thinking, when I can build so strong bridge, Lord Ram being Lord, he could have built easily with his weapons. Now with his bow and arrow, he easily built that bridge that nobody could, break it. So why did he take? So he was thinking about this. Then when he was thinking, then Hanuman came. Hanuman appeared there. Then Hanuman said, it is not because of that. Not that arrows were very, very strong. Okay. That is why, because there are millions and millions of monkeys. It could not have tolerated that, those bridge monkeys, because of the monkeys going across. It could not have tolerated. But Arjuna started arguing, not arguing positively, that no, he's Lord himself, and I can do so much. Then why couldn't Lord could have done so much better, right? Then small discussions happen. When Arjuna says, no, we will test it out, because I can build so much, then I will build a bridge here, right? I'll build a bridge. You see if you can break it, right? Hanuman says, if you show me if you can break it. So then Arjuna will start building this bridge, okay, using his arrows. Then after the whole bridge is built, then he'll say, Hanuman, now you can try. Okay, so when he is building this bridge, Hanuman will be chanting Ram, 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 Ram. Then when Arjuna completes the bridge, he'll ask Hanuman, okay, now you try. So Hanuman says, I don't have to walk on this bridge to break this bridge. My tail is enough to break this bridge. So he'll put the tail, then the whole bridge is collapsed. Okay, so Arjuna will be wondering, oh, how come? Because I built big bridge for Agnidev and nothing could happen now. How come? So then, before this, Arjuna says, if you can break this, then Arjuna's patent is that whenever he gets defeated, I'll get into the fire. I'll immolate myself. Then I'll get into the fire. I'll kill myself. Now, Arjuna always tells that. So now he gets defeated here, right? In the sense the bridge is broken. So now he feels that, okay, I have to die, that I have to kill myself getting into the fire. So he'll set up the fire and everything is ready to get into the fire. Suddenly, a Brahmana comes. This is actually Krishna, okay? In the form of Brahmana, he comes. He says, stop, why are you killing yourself? Because Krishna, Krishna never allows any of his devotees to die, right? That is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Do you know any sloka where he says that, my devotees will never perish? Do you remember that sloka? Anyone? My devotees, I will never allow my devotees to perish. So, can anyone?
Name bhaktya pranashyati. Right?
Yes, Name Bhakta Pranashyati. So it's by Bhagavad Gita 9.31. He says, Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigacchati kaunteya prachidanehi Name Bhakta Pranashyati. He says, Arjuna, go and declare to the world, because he doesn't want to tell. Krishna, he doesn't want to tell the world that I will protect all my devotees, because Krishna can change. People don't have much trust. Krishna can change his words anytime. Same in Mahabharata also, he said he won't take the weapons, but he actually took the weapons, right? Just to, his devotees, right? Krishna can change. So that is why here he's saying, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, go and declare to the world that my devotees will never perish. So here he is protecting Arjuna. So to protect Arjuna before he gets into the fire, he comes in the form of Brahmana. He comes and says, stop, why are you getting into the fire? Then they explain, okay, this is what happened. But he'll ask, Brahmana will ask, oh, I know it happened, but was there any witness for this challenge? They said, no, there was no witness. So when there is no witness, third party witness, then this challenge won't suffice. There is no challenge. Now I am there. So now I'll be the witness. You fight again. Okay. So now Arjuna, anyways, he was defeated once, right? Now in his pale face, he says, okay, anyways, I'm going to die second time also. He's going to beat me. I'm going to die. So he'll think about Krishna, and then he'll pray to Krishna, and then he will build a bridge again. Okay. Now Hanuman tries to hit with his tail, or he'll jump, he'll walk. Nothing will happen. The bridge won't break. Now then Hanuman will think, how is this something happening here? It is not normal. Then they will pray. Hanuman will pray, Brahmana, who are you? Please reveal your form. Then he will reveal as Krishna. Then he will ask, how is it? Because I'm so strong, I can break. Initially, when he built the bridge, I broke. Then for the second time, why didn't it break? What was my mistake? Then Krishna says, now first time when he was building the bridge, you were chanting my names, Ram, 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 Ram. That is why you were easily able to break the bridge. So when you take my name, all the potency will come. See, that is a core point. This is a moral of this story, right? When you take the names of the Lord, then all their activities will be successful. So similarly, Arjuna, for the first time, he was trusting his own power, right? He was trusting his own power that I can do this, I can build this, nobody could break all that. So he was very proud of his power. So that is why for the first time he was easily, the bridge was easily broken by Hanuman. Second time, because he was thinking about Krishna and then he built the bridge, that is why he was successful, that he couldn't break the bridge. So the moral of this is that you always have to think Krishna before you do anything. This we already discussed in last session, right? Any activity you do, yad karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad karoshi, whatever. Tat kurushva madarpanam. In Bhagavad Gita is said, right? Do you remember that sloka? Anyone? Anyone?
Yes, I remember this.
Yes.
Hosi, Yadasnasi. But yeah, if you say it, I can kind of recollect it.
Okay. Yad karoshi, yad juhosi, dadasi.
Yat tapasyasyesu kaunteya tat kurushva madarpanam.
Yes, Tat Kurusha Madarpanam. So whatever activity you do, whatever you offer, whatever you eat, first offer it to me. Okay.
Which chapter is it?
Sorry.
Chapter?
Yat Karoshi, chapter 4th, I think. Okay, let me check.
Verse. Thank you.
It is 9.27.
Okay.
Chapter 9.27.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Thank you.
so Krishna says this in Bhagavad Gita, whatever you do, offer it to me first. So similarly, this episode of Hanuman and Arjuna, it shows very clearly that if you think about Lord before you do any activity, that will definitely be successful. So that is when then Arjuna asks Hanuman, so please, you're so wonderful devotee, please bless me with your all the best qualities you have so much patience, you have so much renunciation, please bless me. So he'll take all the blessings from Hanuman, and that is when Hanuman also says that I will be with you always. So that is how Hanuman is one of the reasons Hanuman is on the flag of Arjuna's chariot. Okay, so that is when the relationship is built. So this is the little background about where they build their relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now coming to the this week's sloka 1.15 is Prajna Mataji there? Prajna, okay. Is Brinda there?
Prajit, she's here, Prajit. She's here.
Okay, okay, go ahead, Mataji. So you recite, we will repeat.
1-5.
Panchajanyam Hrikeshu
Rishikeshu.
Panchajanyam
Panchajanyam Rishikeso
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Devadattam Dhananjaya
Pandam Damadu Mahasankam
Pandram Dhamma
Mahasankam
Bhima Karma Vridokara
Bhima Karma Vritodara.
Translation, please.
Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya, Arjuna blew his Devadatta, and Bhima the victorious voracious eager performer of the Herculean tasks blew his terrific conch shell called Ganga.
Wonderful. So last week we went through names, right? Madhava. For Krishna, we read Madhava, right? And for Arjuna, Pandava. So here he says Panchajanyam Rishikesho. Rishikesho is another name. So please note down, like how we discussed, Krishna's names will appear and Arjuna's names will appear also many times, different names. So we'll go through each meaning because each meaning signifies very important, and it is very practical also. So all Krishna's names are either related to his activity or his a Leela, Guna, form, everything. Okay, so it's very important. So here he says Rishikesha, right? So Rishikesha means, we should not misunderstand again. Somebody says Rishikesha, what is the meaning of Rishikesha? Means Rishi means, Muni, right? In Sanskrit, Rishi is Muni and Kesha is hair. It's a hair of Muni. Muni is hair, Rishikesha. No, that's not the meaning. Okay, so we should not misunderstand that. So Rishika, Rishi means H, Rishika in Sanskrit. Those are learning Sanskrit, right? Rishi, Rishikesha. Rishik means senses, like all those senses, whatever we have. And Kesha means master of the senses, right? So Krishna is Rishikesha, master of the senses. So all our senses, whatever we have, right? Panchendriya, 5 working senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, whatever senses we have, including mind, it all belongs to Krishna because he is the master, right? So if we are in this understanding, then our base understanding of that we are this body will be gone, right? we don't really understand this meaning. That means all our senses, whatever we have, Krishna is the master, not we. We are not the doer. Krishna is the doer, right? Krishna is master of our senses. So when we actually become a devotee, right? It is said that when we actually become a devotee, Krishna will guide through all our senses and mind, including mind and intelligence, everything. Krishna will guide. If we completely surrender, so there are two things. Yeah, there is a difference between complete surrender and then becoming a devotee. Like how we are all sadhakas, we are trying to become devotee, right? So when we try to become devotee, then Krishna, this you also experienced many times, like when we are planning to do some activity, sometimes if inner thoughts or inner, someone will instigate from inside. Oh, okay, this is not correct. Someone will say, oh, this is correct, you can do, right? Someone is hinting you. So that means that somebody sitting in our heart is telling you to do this, to do in the right way. This happens many times for many of us. We all have these practical experiences, right? So when we become a devotee, Krishna will work, or Krishna will guide you through all these senses and mind.
That's
Right?
why they say sixth sense, right, Prabhuji? My sixth sense.
Yeah, we'll say, oh, sixth sense. There's no sixth sense actually. We'll say sixth sense, but that is actually Krishna. That is actually Krishna is working through you. He's guiding you to do this, right? But if you totally surrender, now Krishna not only guides you through senses, but he also works through your senses. That means whatever senses, he works through your hand, he sees through your eyes, he hears through your ear, he smells through your nose, he eats through your mouth. So he will do that. And that's what happens with all these paramatmas, right? Not paramatma, right? Srila Prabhupada, acharyas, all these great acharyas, mahatmas, Krishna, he works through them. Srila Prabhupada also says that many times that I didn't write these scriptures, Krishna wrote through me. That means Krishna works through them. Okay, so that means they are pure soul, they are completely surrendered. Okay, so that is what it is called, Rishi Kesha. So we are actually cheating ourselves. Why? Because, say for example, I'll give a simple example. So Guduru family raised hand. Sorry, who is that?
Yes, Prabhuji. Like how you said, Krishna works through us. Even like great Tulsi Das, he wrote Ramayana, but Lord Rama worked. That's what he says, right?
Yes.
So the right.
Correct. That's a wonderful example. So many acharyas are there. Krishna works through them. Now we are a simple devotees. If we really become very, very pure devotee, and then even if while trying, Krishna helps us through our senses, right? So that is a very important. So as I was saying, because we think we are this body, and we are these senses, and we have to enjoy all these things. So that is when all these problems come into picture. When we know that Krishna is master of our senses, all our senses, right? Krishna is the master. So then we are out of this bodily conception. Otherwise, we are like just a robber. We are stealing somebody else's. See, for example, that's what I was about to give this example, that you go to, or you are in a bus stand, right, along with your friend, right? So you're in a bus stand waiting for a bus. Then suddenly a beggar comes, or say ice cream vendor comes, right? So you want to eat ice cream. Now what you'll do, you'll just put your hand into your friend's pocket and take his money and then buy the ice cream and eat, right? So you are satisfying your senses by your friend's money. So is it not cheating? It is cheating, right? Because you are not spending your money. So similarly, these senses are not ours. These senses are Krishna's. So we are taking Krishna as provided these senses. Instead of using for his pleasure, we are using for our pleasure. So that means we are cheaters, right? So this is what it says. Even in Shastras, it says, no, this is not bhakti. Bhakti is not what we satisfy our senses. Bhakti is to satisfy Krishna's senses. In Bhagavatam, it says, Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikesha sevanam bhakti riti uchyate. So here it says again, Rishikena. So Rishikesha, he was the master of the senses by purified senses, which is free from all designations. Sarva Upadi. Sarva Upadi means all the designations. Vinirmuktam. So we have to do sevanam. We have to serve to satisfy the senses of Krishna, not our senses. That is called the real bhakti. So that is what in Bhagavatam it says. In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, 19.17 it says that. So, so the whole essence here is that we have to work for satisfying the senses of Krishna, not our senses. Be it whether eating, be it doing activities, be it hearing, be it smelling, be it talking, be it seeing. Everything, whatever activity we do, we have to always introspect that, are these two people happy? Anytime we have to introspect, these two people are happy. Who are those two people? Is Guru happy with whatever I do, whatever I hear, whatever I see, whatever I eat? Is Guru happy? If Guru is not happy, then all these are wrong, because Guru, they're all in conjunction with the scriptures. Guru's activity, Guru, whatever he does, it is in conjunction with the scriptures. So if Guru is not happy with whatever I am doing, then it is wrong. And not only Guru, Krishna also should be happy, because they always work in a partnership basis. Without Guru, you cannot get Krishna. Without Krishna, you cannot get Guru. So is these two people happy, whatever activities we do? So we have to be very introspective. So that is what here is, Rishikesha. So there's a deeper meaning involved in that. Rishikesha means who is the master of all the senses, right? So we'll come to the next one. Here he says, Panchajanyam Rishikesho. Panchajanyam means it is a conch shell named Panchajanya. Whose conch shell is that?
Krishna's.
Krishna's conch. Okay. So Krishna, there is actually a deeper story behind it. You want to know how he got
Yes.
the Panchajanya? Anybody wants
Yes.
to share?
Prabhuji.
No, if you know, you can share. Panchajanyam. These are it says these are all transcendental conch shells. It's not ordinary conch shell. These are all transcendental conch shells, right? Arjuna's also, it is transcendental. It's not an ordinary conch shell, right? So it is called Panchajanyam. Anyone knows the story you want to share?
I think he killed one demon, Panchajanya.
Yeah, I think when he had gone to save Rishi Sandipani's son from the ocean, at that time he comes across the demon who was hiding inside that conch shell, as far as I can remember. And he fought with that demon and he got that conch shell. I mean, that's the only thing I can remember. Because Rishi Sandipani's son was lost in the ocean, in the river, I guess. And Rishi Sandipani's wife was always lamenting for her son. And as a Guru Dakshina, Krishna was his disciple of Rishi Sandipani. As a Guru Dakshina, he asks Guru Mata, what can I do for you? So she finally, she was hesitant, but she asked that if you can get my son back, because she loved Krishna as her son, but now that Krishna was going, she was feeling empty and she was wishing that I wish I had my son. So this is what Krishna does. He goes to the river and he enters the river, and her son was captured by this particular demon. I don't know the name of the demon, but this is the only story I can recollect.
Nice, thank you, Mataji. And Prajna wants to tell something.
She was basically he fought in a battle with Panchajanya, and I think that's how he named his conch shell.
Yes, that is nice. Actually, both of them are correct. So Sandipani Muni, right? That is where after killing Kamsa, Krishna and Balram, they go to Sandipani Muni to get trained. So they'll finish all these learning Vedas and everything, whatever, within 64 days. Right? They learn everything, and at the end of them leaving, they will ask, what do you want as Guru Dakshina? So he says, I'm very fortunate to have you I don't need any Guru Dakshina. I'm very, very fortunate to have you. You are the Lord of Lords. Then to become your teacher is my fortunate. I don't need anything. But his wife, is very, wives, right? They're very affectionate toward their children. They would have lost, they have lost their son, in the ocean, not drowned. This demon called Panchajanya would have abducted him, and then killed him. Okay, so as soon as she asked that I need my son back, she knew that Krishna is the Lord, but still, out of compassion, love, then she wants her son back. So Krishna says, yes, okay, no problem. Because she knew very well that whatever you ask, Krishna will get. So that is, again, the take home from here is that you need to have trust in Krishna, because this is an impossible scenario, because nobody can come out of death, right? This is very impossible scenario. Anything else, there might be possibility to achieve some things like wealth or position or whatever. But once you die, there is no way that you'll come back. But she knew that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, and she had complete trust in Krishna that he will get me whatever I ask for, even the son who was dead by that time. So that much trust we should have in Krishna. Krishna can turn the tables any ways he wants. So Krishna goes into the water, and then he asks Varuna Dev, and Varuna Dev says that it's not, I didn't do anything here. There is a demon, Panchajanya, who abducted him and killed him. So he is there. So Krishna goes, demon, some scripture says that demon was in the form of conch shell, and some scripture says demon was inside the conch shell. So there is two different things. But however, so Krishna fights with this demon, he kills, and then he gets this conch shell. And then he sees that the Muni's son is not there inside the conch shell, right? So now he has to find. So where does he go after death? Where everybody goes to Yamaloka, right? So Krishna goes to Yamaloka along with this conch shell. So that is when he'll have this conch shell, Panchajanya. So he'll go there. Then at the entrance, even Krishna won't be let entry, and then Krishna will blow the conch shell loudly. So Yamraj will come out. Then he'll offer obeisances to Krishna, and then he'll ask, what can I serve? How can I serve you? Then he says, I need to that son back. So he'll get that son back, and he'll give that to the Sandipani Muni. So they're happy. So only Krishna can do this, and Krishna and also powerful yogis can get this. Get the sons who have already died, and then they can revive them back. Krishna does this actually a couple of other times also. Because we all know the story, right? The 6 sons. Kamsa will kill the 6 sons of Devaki before Krishna arrived, right? So then Devaki at their old age, and I heard this in Mahabharata, that Devaki at her old age, she will request to Krishna, I didn't, I didn't get a chance to love all my 6 sons who were killed by Kamsa. Can you get those 6 sons back? So Krishna, he gets as sons as is. All the 6 sons will come back. And then Devaki loves them, and then again, those pastime is there. The other time when Kunti also asked one time that after Karna dies in the war, then Kunti also asks, I want to show my love and affection to Karna, so please get him back. So Krishna gets him back. So that is also there. And also in Bhagavatam, there are cases where Chitraketu, right? Raja Chitraketu, his son will die, and Angira Muni will come and then revive his son back. So the moral here is actually, because even if you get your son back, after old age is going to die anyways. So there is no point in him dying 2 times, right? It makes no sense. So it's better to ask Krishna, not get my son back or anything like that. Better to ask Krishna bhakti, service towards him. So that is the take home from here. So whenever Krishna gives this opportunity, please, we have to ask that, please give opportunity to serve you eternally, right? Always the one thing we have to notice here, that we always want to go back to Godhead, right? That is our objective. So whomever asks the devotee, I want to go back to Godhead, I want to go back to Godhead. To go back to Godhead and do what? go back to Godhead and be happy? Is that why you're going back? No, you're going back to Godhead to serve Krishna better than what you're doing now. So if you cannot serve here in this opportunity, in this human form of life, when you get the opportunity, if you cannot serve Krishna so that Krishna sees you, then how can you serve Krishna when you go back to Godhead? Now that is why we always have to ask. Even now, if Krishna comes to us and then says, "What do you want?" I want opportunity to serve you. That's all. Simple. Not go back to Godhead. Now there. Now, pure devotees, they say, even if you put me in hell, doesn't matter. Not just Goloka Vrindavana, even if you put me in hell, please give me an opportunity to chant your names. So I don't care whether it is hell or heaven or Goloka Vrindavana. Please give me opportunity to chant your names and serve you. So that is what a pure devotee will ask. So here, this episode, teaches us that when we get an opportunity, we have to ask for the right thing. Right. So this is Panchajanya. That is how he got this Shanka Panchajanya Rishikesha. Devadatta Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya again. Dhananjaya means another name. So Arjuna's name appeared. This is the second time, right? First time it appears as Pandava. Arjuna appeared as Pandava in previous sloka, and now he is Dhananjaya. Right. So Pandava also, see, did anyone come up with this question? Why Arjuna was called as Pandava? Why Arjuna only? Because Pandavas means all 5 Pandavas, right? Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, Bhima, Yudhishthir. But whenever we say Pandava, Pandava means Arjuna. Why is that?
Pandava means not the other sons, it's only Arjuna, Prabhuji?
That is why we refer, right? Whenever we say Pandava, here also, if you see this sloka, Devadattam, before the sloka, not this sloka, if you see before sloka, Madhava Pandavas Chaiva, right? Pandava, if you see in the translation, the son of Pandu is actually Arjuna. They refer to Arjuna. On the other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna.
Yes.
So it's referred to Arjuna. So whenever we say Pandava, it is referred to Arjuna by default. So whenever we say Kaunteya, it is referred to Arjuna by default. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says Pandava, Kaunteya, Partha. All these names automatically it is referred to Arjuna. Why? Because Kaunteya means son of Kunti, right? He is not the only son of Kunti, but Yudhishthira was a Kunti's son. Right? Bhima was Kunti's son. So any idea why?
Is it Prabhuji because this is the context of Krishna Arjuna Samvade, right? So this is discussion between the Krishna and Arjuna. So that's what it refers to. The context is between the Krishna and Arjuna.
There's only one son there in the battlefield, and he's telling only Arjuna.
Bhima was there, Yudhishthir was there.
But he was telling Bhagavad Gita to only one of the sons.
Why Bhagavad Gita only to Arjuna then?
Oh, he's a devotee.
Arjuna is very dear to, Arjuna is very dear to
friend.
Krishna.
They were all dear.
Devotee.
Yudhishthir was dear also.
He's Naranarayan.
Naranarayan is one of the reasons. They're always together. Not only
his friend.
When previous life also, Naranarayan is always together. Arjuna and Krishna always together. And Arjuna is very dear. That's another thing. Very dear, very friendly, with, especially friendly with Arjuna. So if you take even the mode, the mode in Arjuna works, right, is actually not too very passionate like Bhima. Bhima gets angry very fast, very passionate. Bhima cannot tolerate. He has less toleration. And he is not a complete sadhu like Yudhishthira also. Yudhishthira is ready to give up. Actually, in this battle, even Yudhishthira is not ready to fight. And that is what he says. Initially, before the war began, he goes to, in the battlefield, he goes to Bhishma Pitamaha, says, right? Bhishma Pitamaha, actually, I don't want to fight this war. Some of the scenarios come up, so please bless me. He doesn't want to fight. Yudhishthira always is sadhu, Ajata Shatru. He does not have any enemies. He is very sadhu, Dharmatma. So Yudhishthira consciousness is like that. So Arjuna's consciousness is actually in between the Yudhishthira and also Bhima. So that is why Arjuna is the right person and he is very dear to Krishna. And also whenever we say Pandu, Pandava, right? Pandava means Arjuna. Why we refer? Because out of Kunti's sons, right? These three are Kunti's sons, right? Other two are Madri's sons. So three are Kunti's and youngest. Always youngest is referred. Youngest has lot of love, pampering, right? In our normal family life also, youngest will get lot of attention, young son, right? So that is why whenever we say Arjuna or Kaunteya or Pruta, it is referred by default to Arjuna. So that is what it is. Youngest son will get more love. Even Bhagavad Gita is spoken because Arjuna is in between Yudhishthira and then Bhima, right? So here Arjuna is referred as Dhananjaya. Dhananjaya means one who is a conqueror of wealth, right? As I said, he during Rajasuya Yagna, he goes to different places, he gets so much wealth, so that is when he gets this name called Dhananjaya. That is why he's called. So especially he gets, if you see in Mahabharata, it is mentioned he gets most of the wealth from this northeast part of India, especially this Assam. That time they were very, very, very rich places, not like now, So, one of the Matajis, Nitai Sevani Mataji, right? I heard lecture from her. She says that she was asked, Krishna, how do you say that, Krishna was not drinking tea? Krishna was drinking tea. Then she'll ask, how can you say that? Because Krishna actually fights this Narakasur, right? Narakasur gets this 16,100 wife. He marries all those wives, right? They're all from Assam, it seems. Then how come whenever there is a program or function at your home, your father-in-law could have sent some tea, right? Assam is famous for tea. So why do you say ISKCON people should not drink tea? This is some crazy questions, right? So actually tea didn't come from Assam, or at that time there was no tea. It came very recently from Britishers actually got. This again, tea came from China. You know that tea came from China.
Oh,
Everything, whatever we see in China, trademark. So anyways, so this Arjuna's conch shell, Arjuna is called Dhananjaya. Arjuna's conch shell is called Devadatta. There is another story for this conch shell, Devadatta. Do you know anyone how Arjuna got this Devadatta conch shell? These are all, as I said, these are all transcendental conch shell. The sound coming out of this conch shell is very transcendental. It has some meaning. The names are also having some meaning, right? Anyone can share, about Devadatta? Arjuna's conch shell?
no problem.
Devadatta was the conch shell of Arjuna.
Sorry?
Devadatta was the conch shell of Arjuna.
Yes, exactly. So how we got this name Devadatta? Like how Krishna got the name, conch shell name Panchajanya. We heard the story of why he got that Panchajanya. So similarly, Arjuna during exile, you remember we discussed this. Krishna sends Arjuna, go to all higher planetary systems, go there, and you please these demigods, you'll get different weapons, because Krishna can foresee that definitely there will be war. There will be Mahabharata. Now Kurukshetra war is going to happen. Krishna can see all these things. So Krishna says when these Pandavas were in exile, then Krishna says go to higher planetary systems and get all these weapons. So Arjuna goes, he does tapasya towards Lord Shiva to get Pashupasastra, and he gets all the many weapons from demigods. Then he goes to Indraloka, there he fights all the demons, and Indra is very, very pleased after fighting. Indra is very pleased with Arjuna. So he gives Arjuna a crown, and that is when Arjuna is also called Kiriti. Arjuna is called Kiriti. He gets a crown, and then he gives this conch shell called Devadatta. So that is why it is from Deva, is a Lord Indra. That is why it is called Devadatta. Okay. So conch shell name Devadatta, and next one, what is that next one? Poundram Dadmo Mahashanka. Now Poundram is it's a name of the conch shell again. Whose conch shell is that?
Bhim.
Bhim. Yes. Poundram. It is not it is not a small conch shell. When you compare this conch shell with all the other conch shells Pandavas had, especially this Bhim's conch shell is so huge. All these other conch shells are very small compared to being conch shell, because he's very the voracious fighter, right? Beam, it is referred to here as voracious fighter. Also, when it comes to beam, right? Here it says Vrukodara. Another important thing, Bhima Karma, Vrukodara. Bhima Karma, it is not referring to Bhima here. Bhima Karma means one who can perform Herculean task, huge task, right? He had the strength of 10,000 elephants, Bhima, right? And it is called Vrukodara, is also called voracious eater. Voracious eater, Vruka, it is actually two words. Those who know Sanskrit, those who are learning Sanskrit, they might know all these. Vruka Udara, Vrukodara, Vruka Udara. Vruka means, there are a couple of meanings here again. Vruka is referred to wolf, right? Is Madhura Mataji there? Sanskrit. What is Udara? Udara means?
Udara means stomach, right?
Yes, perfect. So Vrukodara, Vruka means wolf and Udara means stomach. It is like a wolf eater, basically. It's not eating wolf. Wolf can digest anything, whatever. Wolf has a very good appetite. It can digest so much. It is also said in fifth canto of Bhagavatam, when we read the description of this 28 hellish planets, right? 28 hellish planets. Then we'll read this also. Vruka in higher planetary systems, these wolves, they are so strong, their appetite is so strong, they could even eat a huge elephant and digest it. Like how we see this anaconda, right? Anaconda or python, whatever we call here. That python can just grab the whole human. We are 6 feet. It can easily grab us. It can eat, gulp, and then dwindle against this tree, and then it can crush us. So similarly, this wolf, they were so strong in higher planetary systems that they can even eat this big elephants and digest it. So that is why here it is referred to Vruka Udara. His stomach had so much appetite that he can digest. As soon as he eats, he can digest easily. Okay. So it is said that when Bhima in Hastinapur, when these cooks, they cook for this Pandavas, when Bhima starts eating, they were all worried. They were all in tension, because when he starts eating, he completes the whole thing, because he's never satisfied. He keeps eating. He is never satisfied. So that is why when you see Kunti Mataji, when Draupadi comes, as soon as the marriage is done, right? Arjuna and Pandavas come with Draupadi. So Kunti, she will teach. She will give some lessons to Draupadi, how to take care of these Pandavas. She says that when you cook, then you make sure that you divide this whatever you cook, you divide into 2 parts. Now, first part you give it to Bhima. Then the other part you divide it into 6 parts. 6 parts will be shared between Kunti, Draupadi, and then other 4 Pandavas, right? So she will advise all these things. So Bhima is so voracious eater. That is what here he says. He had so much appetite with him. He can digest. As soon as he eats, it will digest. It is not that his belly was too fat and huge. Nothing like that. His belly was normal, but he had that fire, because every person has different fire. One person can have less, one person can have more. This is called fire of digestion. Who is this fire of digestion again? It is said in Bhagavad Gita again. If you refer back to Bhagavad Gita has answers for all of this. Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva, right? Remember that sloka?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Aham Vaishwanaro Bhutva. It is
Praninam Deham Ashrita.
Yes.
Pranapana Samayuktam Pachami Annam Chaturvidam.
Pachani Annam Chaturvidam. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities. This is Krishna saying that. No, Krishna says even the fire of digestion, it is me. So that means without Krishna we can't do anything. Without Krishna we don't know that knowledge. That is why we are in so ignorance that we commit so many offenses, so many things we commit. Even we don't know how this digestion happens when we eat food. It is Krishna who is digesting, not our capacity, right? If Krishna stops that activity, then indigestion will happen, then we'll get diarrhea, we'll get so many problems. If digestion doesn't happen properly in the stomach, all our problems will come into picture, right? So Krishna is helping us there also. So similarly, this Bhima had so much appetite. The fire of digestion was so much in him that he could digest anything. So whenever he has this prasadam in Hastinapur, right, everybody gets tensed, everybody gets worried. What happens. So they all went to Kunti and for help. Now this is what happening every day. What can we do? So Kunti says that don't worry. Unless Kunti, this became a habit there. Unless Kunti came and gave one laddu to Bhima, then he's not satisfied. So after eating all these things, Kunti gives one laddu to Bhima, then Bhima is satisfied. Right? So that is what it is here. The meaning of voracious eater. The sloka says, right, last one. Bhima karma vrukodhara. Vrukodhara is voracious eater. His stomach had so much appetite. Now that doesn't mean that he's a sense gratifier. See, again, we should not misunderstand that. Okay, he eats too much, uncontrolled eating. No, he eats too much. That means he cannot control his senses. No. So even in devotees we can see. Even in devotees we see sometimes devotees are too plumpy or all that. Then we see, oh man, he's eating too much. He cannot control his tongue. He preaches that control his tongue, but he's not controlling his own tongue. His body is like this. No. As long as we have the fire of digestion, I said, right, it varies from person to person. We have this power to digest all these things, and we work accordingly. According to our capacity, we work. Then we don't fall into this sense gratification mode. Okay. So then we should not misunderstand this devotee also. In the Shastras also, it is said that, Madhvacharya, Madhvacharya, right? Madhvacharya is actually the incarnation of
Lord Krishna. Sorry, Lord Shiva.
No. Madhvacharya is actually from Vayu. He is incarnation of Bhima. Okay. So
Yes,
Madhvacharya
Vayu.
Madhvacharya also had so much appetite. He was eating so much. I don't know why my screen is becoming like this. Have any idea why the screen becomes like this? Can you see me properly?
No.
No, Prabhu.
No.
I think you have the background on.
So there is some background.
No, I didn't set any background.
Roji, if you can go right click on the stop the video and then do virtual video settings and see probably if there's some.
Click on the videos and video settings.
And then one of the options will be
Background.
and click none.
Yeah, but who changed it? I didn't change it.
You can't change the background. It's not mine. I can't change it.
It is good night.
Krishna is working through me.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Anyways, coming back to, as I was saying, that we should not misunderstand devotees, right? When they eat too much, you cannot say he's a sense gratifier, because he works accordingly. Similarly, he works too much. He works too much, so he needs that much food for his body, right? So we should not misunderstand Bhima also here. Oh, he eats, always eats. Bhima also says that when Vyasadeva gives Upanyasam, then he says a lot of information about Ekadashi, right? No, you have to do Ekadashi, and Bhima says, no, I cannot control my hunger. I cannot do Ekadashi. So then, no, you have to do Ekadashi. Vyasadeva says you have to do Ekadashi. Then Bhima says, okay, give me one Ekadashi where I can perform such activity that it includes all other Ekadashis coming to this. That's why we have this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi. You remember this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi? It's called Bhima Ekadashi also. It comes in the month of May, June, when it is very hot. Now you do Nirjal. You can't even drink water. You can't drink water. You can't eat anything. So whole day, 24 hours, you do fasting. So Bhima agrees for that. He does that. So because of Bhima only, we got this Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi, right? Because he's trying very hard to do that. So, but we should not repeat the same thing that, other Ekadashis we eat nicely, and then when it comes to Pandava Nirjala Ekadashi, it nullifies all the effects what we have done. No, now we have to do Ekadashi very properly. This is not to. So that is the meaning of it. This sloka. What is that? Panchajanyam Rishikesho Devadattam Dhananjaya Poundram Dadmau Mahachankam Bhima Karma Vrapodara. Okay, so Lord Krishna blew his conch shell called Panchajanya. Arjuna blew his the Devadatta, the Bhima, ferocious eater and performer of Herculean task, blew his terrific conch shell called Poundra. So he was very strong. Bhima was very strong. Even in Lakshagraha, Lakshagraha, right? So all the Pandavas, they escaped through a tunnel. So when they escape through the tunnel, they're running. These Pandavas get very, very tired. So Bhima, why he is said as Herculean, he can perform a Herculean task. This is one example. So Bhima, he'll carry Nakula, Sahadeva, Yudhishthira, everybody on his shoulder, including Kunti Mataji, and then he'll run. So this shows that he was so strong, and for that strength, he needs that much to eat. He's a voracious eater. So we'll go to the next sloka. So we'll end actually here. It's already 9 o'clock. We'll end, and we'll share some reflections, or if you have any suggestions, complaints, concerns, discussion, we can do for 15 minutes, and then we'll end. Also, last week we discussed that, right? We will share some realizations, reflections, how we implement whatever we are learning till now, how practically we are implementing in our daily life. Okay. So thank you very much. Please go ahead. Who wants to do first? You can raise your hand.
Prabhuji, one question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Because Sanjay is telling Dhritarashtra on the battlefield, as part of that, so did Sanjay also tell Bhagavad Gita to Dhritarashtra?
Yes, everything complete.
So which means, see, the way it is said that Krishna told only Arjuna, and like he stopped the time, everything. But Dhritarashtra and Sanjay, they were lucky enough to.
Yes, not only they were, there is another person who were listening also. Who was that?
I have to pick a teaching to change.
Who was that? There is another person who listened the whole Bhagavad Gita.
I don't know.
Just now we.
Hanuman?
Barbary.
Yes, Lord Hanuman. Sorry.
Oh.
Hanuman Bhakta. He was listening Bhagavad Gita also, complete.
Barbary as well, Prabhuji.
Huh?
Barbary.
What is Barbary?
Barbary got that bone from Krishna, right? He will be
Barbary,
watching.
who is that?
His grandson of his son of Bhima. So his son or grandson?
No, I think
grandson.
son. He is a grandson of.
Grandson of Bhima, yeah.
Because the son of Bhima is Ghatotkacha, and then the
Yes.
son of Ghatotkacha is Barbary.
Right. So what happens is, like, he did austerity, so much of austerity, and he got a boon, like wherever he will be standing. So means whichever the party will be lose, means whichever the party will be lose party, mean weak party. So he will fight from that side, and he got boon, like he will never lose. So, and he in one target, in one arrow, he can penetrate several kind of millions even. So, and it won't be without he can target there. So based upon that, finally, when Krishna, when everybody heard like this, when the war decided, Kurukshetra war decided, so that Pandavas got worried about this, like if he will be fighting with us. So Kauravas will be, when Kauravas will be about to lose, means first day suppose they fought, and second day they will be weaker, so he will go and fight with them second day. So second day, then we will be weaker, then he will come to us. third means this way. So Krishna is telling that. So this way, only last you will only remain, right? So you will only remain. So did you not think about when you asked about this boon? So he said, no, I did not think about. I was just innocently asked this boon, like whosoever will be losing or weaker, so I will fight with them to strengthen them. So Krishna said, finally the conclusion came like you have to give up yourself. So he chopped up his head, and he said like I have my desire to see that war, Kurukshetra war. So Krishna said yes, that will be done. So his head was hanging somewhere on the tree or somewhere and he was watching all the way. So he was at the last, everything war happened and everything completed. So then he was saying that Pandava did not win that Kurukshetra war only because of Krishna. Everything happened, otherwise they would have not win that. So whatever they were targeting, whatever they were doing things, all because of Krishna. Krishna was inside that. Even Arjuna was using his arrow, but the strength was given by Krishna. Krishna was behind that arrow. So those all things. So resulting, Barbari was that who was watching Kurukshetra was since beginning to end.
Prabhu, Murali Prabhu.
He's called Khatu Shyamji, I think, in Rajasthan. They have temples in Rajasthan, and I think the story that you mentioned is they call him Khatu Shyam. I had once read this story. In Rajasthan, he is called as Khatu Shyamji. They have temples of Khatu Shyam. The same story I had read. Prabhuji.
Prabhu.
I don't know if you know.
Murali Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Would you summarize that for me? I didn't get some of it, please.
Summarize
what he said. I'm not sure I got everything. What?
Yeah, actually, I haven't heard about this story, so I cannot.
Who was that main character?
Barbari, is it?
Mataji, his name was Barbari. Barbary. So his name was Barbari. So he was the grandson of Bhima.
Oh, okay.
He was the grandson of Bhima.
Yeah. Okay, I was not. I don't think I have heard this. So forgive me for that. So that's why I couldn't understand what was happening in that. So thank you.
Nice, Prabhu. That's nice to hear. So.
So he lost his head, and Krishna asked him, you will be able to see the whole Kurukshetra war.
Yeah, Mataji, that is the boon he asked. He had the desire. So he asked, he expressed with Krishna saying that how I will see the war. I want to see the complete war. So Krishna said like, yes, you will see that. So only your head will be kept there somewhere on the tree. And from there you will see the complete war.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So, Prabhuji, my question is, that means Dhritarashtra also was lucky enough to listen to Bhagavad Gita?
Yes. Of course, yes. We are also lucky. He is also lucky.
At that time, nobody else heard Bhagavad Gita, even other Pandavas or no one, right? Because to the war, then everyone must have died and all this.
Yeah, because only Sanjaya was given this boon. He can magnify and see.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else?
Prabhu, another thing, please. Could you, whenever you make the references in Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavad Gita, could you just, tell me the verse so I can later on go back and read that verse on.
Yeah, sure, Mataji. Actually,
please.
I can do that. If you listen to this video again, because it's saved. Then you can slowly, you can pass and you can take your own time in referring back,
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji.
And we have to say one point. You said, what do you take home or something?
Yes.
Okay, I think we have to trust fully Krishna.
The question is that from the last week or previous weeks, whatever, what did you learn and how did you implement whatever you learned is the question. What did you learn from previous sessions and how did you practically implement in your daily life is the question.
Oh, I think surrendering to Krishna, because
no, that
when
is
something
that is a generic. You can be more specific in coming to your specific activity. How did you implement it?
Well, I was worried about some certain situation at my home. At that time, I prayed to Krishna. I know he is always there in our heart. He guides you. And all of a sudden, fortunately, one person showed up and gave me a ride to the hospital. And which I did not expect. I didn't know anything about going to Center City, parking there, and it was too expensive. I think I couldn't believe that Krishna will send somebody, that person, doctor, offered me morning and evening ride to the hospital. And that was amazing for me at that time, which I did not expect. I haven't seen that person for a long time. I have only heard of the person in the family. And I thought, if you pray to Krishna or surrender to Krishna, somehow he makes it happen.
Wonderful. That's a wonderful example. Realistic, practical example.
Yes.
Anyone else wants to share, please? Saujanya Mataji.
Like, I don't know which class you said, but then you said, desire. If you have a desire, then Krishna will do. I mean, like he will show the path. Like so, I felt for anything, like for any act we think of, we have to read, listen to Bhagavatam class, or listen to Bhagavad Gita, or read or to do anything for Krishna. Anything, first we need to have a desire. Otherwise, it will never become firm. So, like just like how you think your day in the morning. We have 101 desires, this work, that work, that work. But what is my main desire that I have to finish today? But unless that thought comes, I was not becoming serious, Prabhuji. Like we have so many in our mind, oh, we have to do this, we have to do this, and then we regret. But then that word helped me to become a little more firm in making sure, okay, first at least it should come to my mind. So that desire, I just thought, let me share that with my reflection.
Very nice. Actually, in one of the sessions we discussed this, right? That in our mind there will be some 32,000 thoughts going on every day.
Yes.
And then it depends. The practical execution depends on which thought you feed the food. Correct?
Right. Yes. Right. That's why I couldn't relate. Yes.
Yes. Very
So
nice.
it kind of helped, Prabhu.
Very nice.
And another thing I wanted to share, Prabhu, I was not a early riser. I have a problem getting up early in the morning, but I had the innermost desire to chant all the rounds, whatever I can, before 7 o'clock. So I think I have been praying to Krishna before I go to sleep, and wake me up, Krishna. Somehow something has to happen. But I think luckily in the past 4 or 5 weeks, I think I'm waking up and trying to chant the rounds. I think I want to keep it up by September. By September. I said I would be good by September. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
We should follow your footsteps.
I don't know. But it's been very hard. I think summer is the best time to wake up early, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and do the Brahma Muhurta chanting. Because that Prabhuji also, Adi Gadadhar Prabhu said, everybody says it, but I said, I have been having so much of difficulty, in my age, it's not easy to get up and walk down and do things.
You're still young, don't worry.
Luckily, it's happening by Krishna's grace alone. Who can do that? Thank you.
Great.
Right.
Kirtida, you want to share?
Sorry.
Keep.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, what is that? What is it?
To share?
Your view.
Huh?
You want to share? We were discussing, right?
Oh.
No, you were not there in the scene. Maybe you were.
No, I was listening to Vatsala Mataji, but I just got distracted because somebody knocked the door. So I went out.
No, the question was that out of all these sessions, whatever we learned till now, that what was the point? Are there any points which we try to implement practically? Okay, so we learned so many things, right? Many sessions we had. This is the 15th session, I guess, right? 15th. Okay. So whatever we learned, did we practically try to implement? Vatsala Mataji shared some practical realizations, how she implemented it. And Saujanya Mataji also shared. So do you have any situations where because of this exercise, what we are doing, you got a chance to implement it practically in your day-to-day life? You want to share something on that?
I mean, I don't have anything specific, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay.
Prabhuji, I got like you instructed saying that we should remember slokas. So I remembered first 6 slokas. So that is from this class. So that one achievement, kind of small little drop of achievement, we can say I did.
Very nice.
However, Brahma Muhurta, we keep on, we wake up in the Brahma Muhurta only and we do Mangalarti and everything. That is our daily routine. As usual, we do that. So from this session, yeah, so I started reading, means remembering the sloka. So that's a good thing, Prabhuji. Yeah,
Wonderful. That is very nice. Thank you. Nirmala Mataji.
Nirmala Mataji is not here right now.
Kanchan Mataji.
Nothing much, Prabhuji. It's all the same.
Okay. Shravanti Mataji.
Prabhuji, actually, last week when we were discussing, we should not feel pride, and whatever we get, we should think as mercy of Krishna. And so usually I used to get, like, if I start cooking, I'm just telling a practical example, like this week when I was cooking, if something was really delicious and tasty, I started thinking it's because of Krishna's mercy. And my kids, when they recite shlokas or anybody, they tell like they're doing good. So I used to feel proud sometimes. So now I feel it's only by Krishna's mercy they are doing all that. So try to implement that.
Very nice, Mataji. Very nice. Thank you. Wonderful. I see some different incarnation next to you. Is it Shiva Prabhu?
I was wondering who is sitting there.
Yeah, sorry, Prabhu. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry.
Prabhuji, 1 month back, I was like that. So I'm in your group.
Yeah. Sorry, Prabhu. Go ahead.
No problem, Prabhuji. Yeah.
You want to share some realization, practical realization?
Yeah, first realization is like the class when you told everybody has to recite, at least one person has to recite some slokas. I was every week I'm trying to practice, but I'm unable to do that. So that is the one thing, Prabhuji. And then I want whatever in the class you take, I already told you like how you are taking maybe like the Krishna's mercy, the way you take the classes, Prabhuji, that is the most inspiration for me to be attend in this satsang class, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much. It's all a team effort, so we are all actually there is, as I said, it's not one person talking, other person just listening. It's all interactive session,
Yes.
So the more we interact, the more information we know, the more realizations we know, the more thing we can implement. And also when we speak that we are going to follow this, and then everybody sees that we are not following, then our consciousness will hit. Oh, I told something and I'm not doing that. Okay, so our consciousness will keep hitting us back. Okay, so that means I'm speaking lie, or I'm becoming hypocrite. That means I'm talking something, I'm not doing that. So that is why we have to speak. So that's why everybody will get opportunity. That's the whole course is this one. After this first chapter, probably I'm done. After this first chapter, somebody else will go into the second chapter. Somebody else will take over the third chapter. 18 chapters, there will be 18, not preachers, 18 at least leaders who can lead the whole chapter, So that is when we can implement more. The more we talk, the more we can implement. So that is the whole funda behind this. Okay.
Yeah. Only one point that one clarification from me I want you to say. So when my father passed away, so many of the devotees told like chant more. So I till that time I used to chant for 11 rounds, but now the day like from 1 month onwards I'm chanting 16 rounds. So is it how I have to take Prabhuji? Like it's because of no, like with my personal like because of myself I'm doing this, or for my like how to take this Prabhuji? I'm unable to understand this.
See, first thing is, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says this, like, however, whatever ways you go, doesn't matter. As long as you achieve the objective, that is fine. That means our objective is to chant the holy names of Lord. That can come in any form. Maybe it is our, your father, he's helping you indirectly because your father passed away, and then, because of that feeling, you are chanting more, which is very good because you are taking the names. This not only benefits you, it benefits your father, your grandfather, a grandfather, and then your son, your grandson, grandson. So 7 generations, 7 generations this. They'll say 11 generations also. So this is helping not only you, but it helps everybody else. But only thing I would advise you here is that you're in the right path, and then you increase your round, which is very good. But be consistent. Be consistent. Be intensive. Not just consistent. Consistent intensity is required while chanting the holy name of God. That will definitely help, and that is the only solution. This will help your father to go back to Godhead right now.
But don't think that should be like selfish, Prabhuji. Like
definitely not. When you're doing spiritual activity, there is nothing called selfish. When you're doing spiritual activity, in fact, all this whatever false, whatever false misgivings we have, right? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So all these things, we can't really get rid of it as easy as possible. It's not easy. Okay, so all these things you have to utilize it to the Lord. Then everything will become spiritualized. Even karma will become spiritualized. So that is why we get into grahastha ashram, right? We have some sense gratification there, but according to Shastra, it is allowed. So you cannot do sense gratification when you are in a brahmacharya ashram. So he says that no, I cannot control my senses. Okay, don't worry. You get into grahastha ashram, you satisfy your senses, but at the same time, you become more responsible. Okay, so you take up more responsibility, and in due course, you will get realization. So that is why this grahastha ashram is. So all is kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, everything you can dovetail to Krishna's service. Similarly, what you are doing is, even though you say, because I am doing, because of my father and all that, that is not selfish. It is a spiritual activity. Okay, if it is spiritual activity, there is no selfish. Okay, it adds to your spiritual account. That is told in Bhagavad Gita, not me. Krishna's told. Neha vikramanaashosti pratyavayo na vidyate srutamapiyasya dharmasya trayato mahata bhayat. This, this sloka, right? So Neha Abhikramana Shosti, even a small service you do, Krishna will remember all that. Small service you do, so that will get into your bank account. Trayato Mahato Bhayat, it will take away even the greatest fear you can, it will take away. Right? Even small things you do. So your 10 rounds to 16 rounds, it's the biggest thing you can do. Best thing you can do, and which you are doing. So that is a great thing. But you do consistently, be consistent and intensity. You increase that consistency and intensity. Never come down. Never take it easy. Okay, never take it easy. These are the holy names of the Lord. It's very, very, so do not with offenses. That is sadhaka. I mean, we can't do overnight. We can't be like that. But at least for now, what we can do is be consistent with intensity. That is what I would advise. Right?
Thanks.
You are doing wonderful, Prabhu. Shiva Prabhu ki jai. Thank you.
Shiva Prabhu, this is Nikhil.
Prabhuji, Haribol.
Yeah, what I would say is basically like keep, as Murli Prabhu said, keep doing your karma all the time, right? Without expecting any results. So when time comes, basically nobody can help. Like take your own example. Now in this difficult situation, you have everything here. You have kids, you have wife, you have nice job, you have.
Nikhil Prabhu, we lost you.
Hello. Hare Krishna.
We lost your voice, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
I think we lost him.
Yeah. Okay.
He's there online, but his voice is. Okay. Yeah. Sure, Prabhu. So you're doing wonderful. Please keep it up, but please be consistent. And then, pray for us also. Pray for all of us.
Everything will pass. Okay. I have gone through enough in my life. Parents,
Yes. Yeah, I know.
niece, nephews, everybody. I mean, I am only here. Everybody is almost gone in the family out of 8 or 9 children. Okay. So it takes a lot of courage and believing in Krishna to survive. Okay. We shall pass too.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Brinda Devi, you want to share something? Brinda Devi? Brinda, are you there?
Murli Prabhu, sorry, my battery died.
Okay. Battery also has expiration date.
I know.
So everything has expiration, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Nothing is permanent.
Including
and
us.
whatever we have, like nothing can help. Like you couldn't go to India, right? Whatever situation it is, we have to face that situation. So just think all the time that it has been given to me by Krishna based on my past karmas, and we'll have to face it. So face it happily. And whatever karma you do, whether you do it like with your family, at your work, with your friends, whomever, whatever you do it with full faith and keep doing it. Even at your work, if you are a programmer, do good programming. If you are a manager, become a good manager. And like don't expect that somebody will say good to you, right? So just keep doing it without any expectation. And if you have faith, as Murli Prabhu mentioned, whatever little service you do, he will show you those results.
Yep.
At every moment, he will guide you appropriately.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So anybody else wants to share? Nikhil Prabhu, you want to share any of your practical applications of whatever lessons we have learned till now?
I'm trying, Prabhuji, like just trying, nothing else, Prabhuji.
Whatever you tried, please share.
So one of the example which I gave is like what to do, right? So keep chanting. Whatever comes to you is take it happily.
Now, what is your In your context, you tell in your context.
Yeah, I'm telling in my context. So you all know my context, right? So if you take my personal life, you all know what has happened and what is going on. So that's what I'm saying. Krishna is guiding you all the time at every single step. That's how he reveals things in front of you. And now it's up to you how you want to react to that. So you keep doing your best and just accept the results.
Nice. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita you spoke.
and like, as I mentioned, like, you have all your well-wishers, you have friends, your family, but you are alone. Nobody's there to help you. Nobody can do anything.
Yeah.
Your money doesn't work, your family doesn't work, your friends doesn't work, your well-wishers doesn't work. Nothing works. Only God is the only person who will keep you guiding all the time.
True.
Yeah. Thank you, Nikhil Prabhu.
Well spoken.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji.
That's high realization. Yeah. So anybody else wants to share before we end?
Prabhuji, overall, as a family, we are very happy with this online satsang session, Prabhuji. And the first few classes, I used to think, okay, when we have this Friday satsang, let me be cutting vegetables and listen. I need to be honest, Prabhuji. I'm just listening. It's a Zoom session. So my time, I used to plan a lot. Oh, when I'm doing this, I should do this. After 3-4 classes, as you started asking us, can anyone recap? Then I felt, why I couldn't remember anything, though I heard everything. Then I said, just listening is not, because this is literally like, you have to understand. Sorry, first you have to listen, understand, take it in your mind and start also implementing. And then how you again share. It's not just like you said, the one shloka, going into one ear and getting out of the
Cross ventilation.
ear. So after that 3-4 classes, I realized, no, I should sit just like how we sit in the satsang class. So then we all made it a point, satsang class and Adhikadadar Prabhu's class, we are not planning any other works. We sit, and then I started taking down notes. So that helped me a lot. And then I remember my kids were telling, we never saw you writing notes. How come you're writing? I said, yeah. In the satsang, we just come, sit there and listen. But I think when we write, it matters a lot.
Yeah.
And even kids, they don't skip. They come, they involve, because you are explaining very, there's more retrospective projects, like, you're making it more interactive. So it's, as a family, we all look forward to Friday satsang. It's not like I'm not saying before was not good, but though we are not meeting, it's still even more value adding. And that too, the idea that came to you to start off with Bhagavad Gita, that's even more very good. And then kids in this time, like, they're getting more exposure about Mahabharata and then Bhagavad Gita. And simultaneously, Kalamataji, at least for my daughter Prajna, she's in Kalamataji's class for Sunday school. So it's all working out in all angles. So that way we feel very satisfied, Prabhuji, actually. And I should really thank how Krishna arranged, how Krishna gave you the thought. So that's very satisfactory for all of us, Prabhuji.
As I said, it's all team effort, it's not individual. Very nice, Mataji. Thank you very much. That's a very...
Yeah, I'm glad too, Prabhu. You are there conducting, and you are having you are involving everybody to participate and contribute their realization. And it's very interactive and it's good, especially now I'm getting older. So it is good for me, right?
Yeah.
So at my age, I have to be more focused on things. Whatever happens, focus on Krishna. That's it. Yeah, forget about ourselves.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. So we will end this call here if no one has anything.
Sure.
It's already 9:30.
Sure.
Okay. And tomorrow, don't forget, same credentials. Tomorrow, Adhikadadar Prabhu's class at 7:30 to 8:30. So please attend and share with your friends also.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Hare
And I
Krishna.
offer my humble obeisances to all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who are just like the desires who can fulfill all desires and are full of compassion to the fallen conditioned souls. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam
Vitanam
pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, brothers and sisters.
Or Premanandi.
Hari Bol.
I just pinged about the Burberry on this chat group. So if someone is interested, you can copy the link and you can go through that. That's on the ISKCON Desire Tree. So about the Burberry.
Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Haribol. Meet you tomorrow.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.